While on NBA TV on Sunday, my host brought up the Dom curse because right after we got done praising Wemby, he went on to have possibly the worst game of his career. Either way, no long intro today. My camera literally broke right as I pressed record. I just want y'all to know it was not the Dom curse, and I'm just going to show you how Phoenix boxed what was becoming an unsolvable problem for the league, and still probably is. What's crazy is they actually came out of the gate with active hands here, you see. They're gonna just standard handoff to the lob. Would have been a lob, but he got his hand on it, and I had to rewind it to be able to see it, but there it is right there. So yeah, they began early saying, today is not the day we die. So this possession is going to result in points for the Spurs here, but you see active hands from Mark Williams, handoff, tried the same thing, but yeah, where are you going? Even as Wemby, what are you doing with this? I mean, I guess it's possible you could have skipped this to the corner to Champagny, but also spacing is just wicked here. Harrison Barnes baseline. Nobody actually cares about Castle or Champagny here. Wemby is the priority. I mean, and if you're the Suns, you kind of had to make it that way, but it did result in points, just not Wemby points, which I think is very important. It's interesting because I feel like this is exactly what happened in the playoffs for a lot of teams. They went in, and even if a guy can technically shoot like Harrison Barnes, this is kind of how the Thunder almost got is they said, okay, cool, now you have to make these shots in the playoffs. And in the Suns case, we're saying we're not going to let Wemby just kill us. So, you know, if Harrison Barnes hits, he hits. And does he hit here? He does not. That's a decent gamble. Last time I checked, Wemby's only shooting 31% from three. So here he is actually going to just, yeah, Ryan Dunn was in the lane here. So didn't give him any space, but also didn't give Wemby the room to cut. And yeah, when he doesn't, deflected ball. Once again, playoff basketball. So this time they do throw the skip. This is exactly what I saw on last play. You know, Wemby, roll, that leaves the corner open. And Mark even got out to contest that time as well. So you covered the roll and you covered the skip. Wow, they for real just did not respect another player on this floor today. It's going to be interesting to see for the Spurs going forward because this worked. Look, it's 4 Suns players down here. The entire perimeter is uncovered, and you know, anybody who catches it is just a Suns defender is going to have to run out to it. So who gets it here? Wemby finds Champagny, Ryan Dunn, Allen gets to Vassell. You got the switch immediately. Wemby in the paint, contested jumper, and again the Spurs score. But see, if I'm Phoenix, I'm happy with this. We're getting beat by Devin Vassell fadeaways, right? And there's nowhere for Wemby to roll here. Nope, it's just gonna straight slip, get to the corner. Wow, not even the basic stuff. So we immediately double. Look, this is interesting, right? This is why you watch games, because Suns defensive rating overall, 22nd. You would just go, okay, defensive side of the ball, not that good, but half court defense, you can literally see on the screen why they're top 10 here. O'Neal has this slip covered. Mark Williams, again, we can just get a handout at Harrison Barnes. So they throw that. Mark challenges it, and even though they got the ball where they wanted, and on it from Dunn, as Castle is being totally ignored. This is fascinating. This is one of the things where, oh yeah, double effort as well. This is one of the things where you can see, you know, slow your roll on the Fox talk. They went 5-0 for the first time in history. They got these young guys. Now Dylan Harper is hurt. I don't know if I mentioned at the beginning of the video, and another contested fade. So yeah, you're happy with the 3 buckets the Spurs have gotten so far that aren't Wemby points, and they're all tough. All right, so can they even get it to Wemby off a turnover here? He's running the floor. Boom, deflection. Harrison Barnes gets it. Now, I will say the one thing for the Spurs here, because obviously this is probably going to be taken as the blueprint given Wemby's been doing alien shit for the first couple of games of the season right here. You see, Wemby had what he wanted. Harper just, he didn't see it. Good defense by Royce. I'm going to guess he just shut off the vision, the lane. So it goes to Barnes as Wemby is wide. Well, kinda, not really. Dunn is sitting right there, so that's a steal if it goes there. Now he's covering. Devin Booker is ignoring Champagny. Let me just go look up Champagny's 3-point percentage. Hold on, because I could have sworn. Okay, so at this moment, he's actually shooting 30%, which makes him a, yeah, in a game like this, you know, if you're the Suns and you don't have a lot for a player like Wembanyama, okay, cool. But this is what I was going to say. So the first 3 have been improvisation buckets right there. Harper off the attention of Wemby still scores. So this is why I'm saying, even though it was a horrific game and they seemingly shut Wembanyama down and they got blown out, but possessions like this shows, hey, over the course of a season, there's ways to adjust if the whole team is going to be focused on the guy. As you see right here, since O'Neal is already beat, you don't really have a center in the paint here. Mark is out on Harrison Barnes, so it'll open up over time. I don't expect this to be the blueprint that just stops the Wembanyama madness, and even if it did, again, it's at the cost, eventually it's going to be at the cost of opening it up for his teammates. So I think you see a bit of a frustration foul by Wemby here. First of all, just go back, because this is just indicative of the effort that won Phoenix this game. A median ball pressure almost gets Dylan Harper out of bounds, an early turnover that would have been. But look at O'Neal the whole play here. In Wemby space, never gives an inch. Standing. I think he probably has his hand on, there we go, elbow, kind of push him out of bounds. The refs are letting people get away with stuff except for that right there. He elbowed him right in his face. So yeah, a little bit of physicality, and boom, you've now drawn a foul, and you frustrated him, because this is probably the toughest start that Wemby's seen. I watched the game the other day. He wasn't impressive in the first half. It was a weekend game. I can't remember who it was, but no, this is different. They legit geared it to shut him down, and now he's out of the game. All right, so when he returns here, it is 14-25. So they have dug an 11-point hole. This time, again, physicality on Wemby. Hold, grab. Now you switch to Devin Booker, bump. 2 people down there at all times, bro. Whew, Phoenix. And that's the 4th time the Spurs have just forced a bucket. But they're running an 11-point deficit while that happens. So once again, if I'm coach, I am happy. I think it's also interesting here too, just on the topic of I think last play with Royce O'Neal, how he kind of frustrated Wemby. You see right here, because of this hold, which again, direct line of sight for the ref here. They are, I told y'all, I know the numbers say they're calling more fouls than ever, but the incidental contact things, I grew up feeling like they were calling all the time. It's not those. But my point is, because of it, you see now Wemby's looking at the ref saying, yo, protect me. And hey, how many times have we seen superstar players who have a crazy advantage? Eventually, the whistle is not that great sometimes. I'm thinking Shaq back in the day, they let a certain amount of things go because he was Shaq. And so Wemby might catch some of that here, and early in the season, I don't think he was ready for it. So you get the off ball from Castle. Booker is immediately there. Boom, can't post me. There's 2 on this side. I'm gonna pop out and try to get the post. Nope, good denial. That man, yo. Phoenix said, not us. I respect it. Because especially if you haven't really watched any of this season, you see this on the schedule and go, okay, that's a good 45 for Wembanyama. All right, we start this off immediately. I am going to hug you at the hip. You see the screen coming. Nah, bro. This is hilarious. The physicality. And I think in this one too, you see it made him a little bit passive because he can't set up. And this is what it's going to take, right? You know, it's a bad game. It's early in the season. This is what it is going to take to stop him from doing the things like he did to Dallas. Because you go back and compare the tape. I made a video on that. Go compare the tape. Dallas let him do whatever he wanted. They let him catch the ball. They let him walk the ball up. And it kind of goes back to the last video and what I was saying. It's a player who looks like he's a tier above, so you're gonna have to do some different things. And yeah, like I pointed out, you've got him wrapped here immediately. Go ahead and no, they didn't switch it actually. Boom, holding again, holding his left arm. Ref's not calling that though. How else are you gonna stay attached, I guess? Yep, hold, boom, and immediately as soon as he catches it, auto double. Looks like that 2K17 auto double glitch. All right, now I got size, good switch there, and then Devin Booker comes over for the double. Oh boy, and that is a turn. It was almost a turnover. That was as good as a turnover, honestly. Once again though, I think this is an example of what I was just talking about, where the attention to Wembanyama, you see there's 3 on this side, they're getting ready for NBA action, and Castle says, all right, bet, I'm an NBA player too. I'm also a great young player. All right, so once again, because, you know, look at the time where we have a minute left in the first quarter, and Wemby so far has been made to be passive. I'm going to start him on the 3-point line here. I actually think he could have drove this. Yep, catch, immediately go bump. Yeah, if I'm Wemby, I can probably finish this. But he did have that quote about unselfishness, about not taking shots that he knows he can make sometimes. You know, so his teammates can hit. But hey, in the playoffs, yeah, McLaughlin, Harrison Barnes, Castle, those are the guys coaches are gonna say, cool, they have to shoot a good percentage, or maybe not. Whoever is around Wemby, yeah, they're gonna have to make shots. So Wemby might not be able to forego things like that. It's a regular season though. It's what, 6th game of the regular season here. Oof, I already saw a fight coming with this one. Let's see. All right, so it appears he has the size advantage. I mean, an actual size advantage. Boom, aggressive post. Looks like Allen was already out of position, so you got to drive here. Yeah, just swing, just simple swing. And they still kind of got a contest on that as well. But now I'm also wondering with Wemby this game too, because some of these seems like positions he really could have finished in here. already starting basically for him what's under the rim, and here we are. Harper threw it up because he didn't think he could get the ball to him, and he's right. Buddy is denying Wembanyama under the rim. Like, that probably would have been a turnover, and so he had to make a last-second decision to flip it up, and yeah, that's an uncharacteristic miss right there. Yeah, so we ended the first quarter there with, what was that, 1 or 2 Wembanyama field goal attempts, and whew, Phoenix made him work. Phoenix made him work harder than anybody has made him work so far. The funny thing is, they don't have the most capable defenders in the league, so obviously, again, Spurs will adjust to tougher coverage. I'm sure they're expecting tougher coverage, but it looks like what Phoenix aimed to come out and show is, hey, there are things we can do. He's not just gonna every single time finger roll the ball over our center or whoever. See, at a certain point, you're just kind of doing what the defense wants, and every time he dives here, yeah, this is a skip, but the Suns want the skip to the Harrison Barnes or the 30% three-point shooter. And that one, I don't know. Maybe that could have gone to Wemby. I don't know if that would have been a finish, though. They probably would have swarmed him. Yeah, here it is. First time he has been held scoreless in any quarter this season. And it happened in Game 6. Yeah. Hey, man, I don't doubt these coaches got a group chat. You know, it's probably an alliance out there, knowing what they have to deal with. Everybody comparing notes and saying, bro, something has to happen before this gets out of hand for the next 5+ years. All right, I saw what appeared to be a Wembanyama post up here, so great screen, and now we're in the middle of the floor by our lonesome with Royce O'Neal, catch at the free throw line, and first of all, neither of his wings are in position to shoot, and then there's McLaughlin in the corner and Keldon Johnson running across the baseline. So let's see here. Face up, here comes the double, and foul. Okay, they're down by 9 here. Wemby still hasn't scored, so if you're a Spurs fan right now, you're going, all right, he's gonna get going. Now I have you on the wing. I can just kind of get downhill. You have to defend his jumper, and oh wow, that's it. Now that's interesting. I will say a good bit of these two, because I'm not showing every possession. Even on the defensive end, he did seem uncharacteristically, I want to say, out of energy, because yeah, look, I feel like in the Dallas game, this was a fadeaway right here. You know, he's defending him close up. This is a drive-by. Boom. Yeah, that's a fadeaway. And he's going to defer it to McLaughlin, or actually Champagny, which then goes to McLaughlin, which again, Phoenix, very happy. Once again, on the topic of just an uncharacteristically lackadaisical night for him, right here, I feel like on a normal game, maybe in the last 5, I feel like this is a slip immediately. I think he notices the two guys. Yeah, Nick Richards definitely just slides down, but then you have an open corner. But instead, no, he just kind of is being held by Royce O'Neal and yeah, doesn't get the rebound. Never even gets in position for it. Okie dokie. Another screen. This better not be another fucking pass to the corner, bro. I swear. Oh my gosh. Man, they're gonna miss him. They need Fox back now, because Harper is, and you see how the Suns came out and guarded him. Cool. Now you're down Harper, who is a guy who's manufactured a couple of buckets here. You're not gonna have him. I think it's gonna be down to McLaughlin and Castle. Oh, they need Fox back immediately now. Not immediately, but just in terms of the start they were having, to maintain the start they were having. Yeah. Okay, so it's gonna just get to his corner here and not really be involved in this action. Yeah, rookie mistake. And that one got him out of the game. So I haven't seen an aggressive march towards the rim. I haven't seen any of the finesse, the power, the strength. That's a little bit worrisome, because I'm not even mentioning on defense. I'm watching him run back after the Spurs get a stop. And he was gassed today. Okie dokie. So by the time he checks back in, the score is 38-50. 39-50. All right, so he's going to start another possession in the corner. This is where he left off. And yeah, if he's never involved in this, okay. Champagny, screen, cool, immediate switch. Now we got Grayson Allen, which if he does get this ball is going to be a double. And look at the off-ball work, and then a turnover. Yo, the Suns, bro, they were just on it. They were lightning quick with every decision involving him. While this does get the switch, boom, that's a turnover if Harrison throws it. Good on him for noticing. That's definitely a turnover. Yeah, they were making simple catches hard. They didn't even want him to catch the ball, but I will say too, him being as gassed as he looked probably played a part. I really do think I pretty much have the picture painted. The Suns are pulling away now. Probably won't need to go past half here. All right, catch, screen, we're down low, and here, where's the double coming from? Once again, didn't look for the shot. Funnels it to Harrison Barnes, which it's a bucket, but I mean, damn. Your team's down and he hasn't really shot the ball. This again, yeah, okay, this time, this is Wemby territory. Even though Grayson Allen did his best to come over here, he missed. Dunn's fighting for his life. This is a jumper. This is a jumper. You can force a foul here, but you just say, teammates, get involved. All right. I mean, I respect it, I guess. All right, post up on Devin Booker. Surely this is a shot attempt. There, bruh. Oh, and Harrison makes it again, so can I argue, but yeah, just given the way the game is gone. Okay, so yeah, this was damn near more of just, I'm gonna be a passer game as well. Maybe I do need to see the second half just to see if there was more shot attempts, because the game that I watched maybe a week ago, again, he was passive in the first half. But look, though, this is why I'm worried. He's even slow on defense here. Watch him this whole possession. Jump out, kind of jumped for no reason, and doesn't get the block here, which a couple of days ago, that's a block. All right, what happens on the other side off this play? There we go. Now, let me just see this, because it looks like it was another immediate, but oh my gosh, Champagny, come here. Hey, man, Wemby said I ain't covering that shit, but yeah, he didn't jump at it either. All right. I've got Devin Booker on me. At this point, the Suns have okay, spin the other way. Baseline, boom, double, trap. Almost turned it over. Recover. 30% three-point shooter in the corner. So they did start making their shots, though. They did start making their shots, but I really feel like one of 3 or 4 things happened every time Wemby was involved in the first half. So I think I'm gonna watch the first play of the second half just to see if it was any different. Same catch, double. There we go. That's the shot I assumed he was gonna be taking, and that one rims out. He had like 3 or 4 attempts to take that shot. Okay, so now I think this is the first time I've seen him handle the ball up court. All right, bro. Look, the Suns did a great job, but yo, he looked totally uncoordinated. This Wemby right here, in and out, boom, give me that shit. Stay low, that was beautiful. Effort by Devin Booker to get to it. This looks like Wemby's first game ever in Vegas. I was there for Summer League, and this is exactly what it looked like. It looked uncoordinated, it looked hesitant, it looked tired and nervous. Okay, so I am indeed going to just to see if he comes out in the second half and immediately tries to, not just have the shot end up going to the corner, because it was working at the end of the second half, but also to work your way back into this game, the Suns probably feel like, hell, if we get got at this point leading by 18 because Harrison Barnes and Champagny caught fire, whatever. Well, this game is almost over. Wemby kind of just trotting up court here, no screen there, and yeah, right into Phoenix's offensive foul, bruh. Yo, it's like a combination of a lackadaisical version of Wemby, but also just frustration. Once again, the Suns just ready for this. Mark on the ball, Booker trying to deny, Dunn ready to slide over and steal this. Castle's already made his decision, but hey man, if y'all watched on the Couch Gamers channel, me and Jelani did the 04 Pistons and Lakers. This is literally Shaq against the Pistons. Oh, and it kind of worked. It's funny, you go look at Shaq's oh man, he wasn't even expecting it. Look, that's the crazy part, right? Why was Wemby basically in post position with Devin Booker and not expecting the pass? Because that's how this foul happened. He's looking, and boom, turns, and yeah. All right, now you've got Grayson Allen on you. Champagny off ball, just kind of weak action. Done, denial. Basically, give me that. And Mark was there as well. Yo, all right, I've seen enough, y'all. I have seen enough. Basically, the Suns were super okay with anybody else doing anything, but also the Spurs were super okay with anybody else doing anything. Yeah, I don't know. He looked tired. He didn't look frustrated, but some of these fouls, they happen when you're frustrated. Hey, shout out to Phoenix. Yeah, shout out to Phoenix for being the first team this season to really challenge him, but whew, yeah, no Dylan Harper. And from what I just saw from Wemby there, it's one game, gonna track the next one. That was concerning.